Hello everyone. Welcome back. Today, we've got some crucial news you don't want to miss. Let's dive right into the top financial headlines and break down what's happening. Goldman Sachs predicts a holiday rally for US stocks. The Wall Street Journal recently shared an exciting report from Goldman Sachs, and it's all about the holiday spirit spilling into the stock market. With Christmas just around the corner, people are gearing up for the season, and it looks like Wall Street is too. According to Goldman Sachs, record-breaking cash inflows are set to fuel a strong Santa Claus rally for US stocks. Over the past 9 weeks, since Trump's election victory, a whopping $186 billion has poured into the US stock market, an all-time high. What's driving the rally? Goldman attributes this surge to a combination of factors. 1. Trump's election win. Investors are optimistic about the policies expected under Trump's administration. 2. Federal Reserve rate cuts. There's a 97% chance the Fed will lower rates by 25 basis points this Wednesday, according to market predictions. 3. Massive stock buybacks. US companies have announced $1 trillion in stock repurchase plans, many of which will roll into 2025. These factors have pushed the S&P 500 to new heights, driven largely by the Big Tech 7, which now make up a record 33% of the index's market value. The influx of cash has also boosted passive investments, with the total value of passively managed assets reaching $11.77 trillion. 2 thoughts on the holiday rally. 1. It's about confidence and tradition. No matter where we are or what we do, the end of the year feels like a time to build confidence and focus on the positives. The so-called Santa Claus rally is as much about psychology as it is about market trends. For Wall Street, it's a way to create a festive mood and wrap up the year on a high note. Historically, these rallies are modest, offering more emotional comfort than huge financial gains. 2. It's not a guarantee for the new year. While the holiday rally has some technical patterns behind it, like tax planning and portfolio adjustments by major institutions, it doesn't guarantee strong market performance at the start of the new year. Unlike some other markets, the US doesn't have a cultural tradition of starting the year with a bang, like China's idea of an opening rally. A word to individual investors. If you're new to the US market or just watching the rally for fun, here's a tip: don't get caught up in the big institutions' end-of-year portfolio moves. Their tax strategies and financial planning needs don't directly apply to most retail investors. Instead, treat the Santa Claus rally as a bit of market cheer to enjoy, rather than a signal to make major moves. And remember, while the holidays are all about optimism, investing always calls for a level head. Enjoy the season and stay informed. Next, let's focus on Germany's government dissolves and snap election set for February. Today's biggest political headline from global media revolves around Germany. As planned, the German parliament held a no-confidence vote against Chancellor Olaf Scholz's coalition government, and the result wasn't a surprise. The parliament voted no confidence, effectively dissolving the government. Under German law, this triggers 2 key events. 1. The president will officially dissolve the parliament. 2. Snap elections will be held on February 23, 7 weeks earlier than originally scheduled. This decision came after negotiations among German political parties, leaving Scholz with no choice but to accept the outcome. What happens next? Looking ahead, all eyes are on Friedrich Merz, the leader of the Christian Democratic Union, CDU. Merz is widely seen as the frontrunner to become Germany's next chancellor after the February elections. Here's where the key political parties currently stand. CDU-CSU alliance, conservatives leading with 31% support. Alternative for Germany, AfD, the far-right party, has surged to second place with 19.8%. Social Democratic Party, SPD, Scholz's party, trails in third with 17%. A coalition is inevitable. Even if Merz's CDU wins the most seats, they won't have enough to govern alone. Coalition talks will follow, and the likely scenarios include a CDU Green Party coalition, partnering with the current Foreign Minister's party. A CDU-SPD coalition, reviving an old partnership. A 3-way alliance of CDU, SPD, and the Greens, with Merz as Chancellor. Despite the political shakeup, analysts say the direction for Germany's next government is relatively clear, which has helped calm market fears. Stability and predictability are what matter most to investors, and this situation offers both big losers and surprising winners. The Free Democratic Party, FDP, part of Scholz's traffic light coalition, faces significant challenges. Polls show the FDP at just 4.9%, below the 5% threshold needed to remain in parliament. If this happens, the party would lose all representation, marking a dramatic decline. On the flip side, the far-right AfD has pulled votes away from traditional right-wing parties like the FDP by leaning even further right. Meanwhile, the far left is gaining traction as well. The newly established extreme left party BSW has surprised many, polling at 7.5% in its first major outing. A shift in political trends? This polarization, toward either the far right or far left, seems to echo a broader trend in Western politics. In the US, for example, far-left politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, are thriving with little electoral pressure, while centrist Democrats and Republicans face increasing challenges. Does this mean Western politics is moving to the extremes? It's hard to say for sure, but one thing is clear: traditional parties face growing pressure to adapt or risk losing their footing. As Germany heads into its February elections, the political landscape is shifting, and the ripple effects may extend far beyond its borders. Today's third news to share with you is rising death toll of North Korean soldiers in Russia's Kursk battles. A Reuters report today shines a spotlight on the escalating casualties among North Korean soldiers fighting in Ukraine's forces in Russia's Kursk region. This development comes as the Kremlin intensifies its efforts to reclaim lost territory. Heavy losses in Kursk. According to Ukraine's military intelligence, at least 30 North Korean soldiers have been killed in 3 separate attacks in the Kursk region over the past 2 days. The news was shared on Facebook, highlighting the mounting losses these soldiers face far from home. In another report from Saturday, the intelligence agency noted ongoing issues with language barriers among troops. This communication gap has led to friendly fire incidents between North Korean soldiers and Chechen forces, resulting in 8 additional deaths. A grim reality. This news paints a stark picture of North Korean soldiers being thrown into a conflict they barely understand, only to become cannon fodder in a foreign war. It raises the question, do North Koreans back home even know about these casualties? And more importantly, does Kim Jong-un care about the lives of these soldiers? The answer, unfortunately, is clear. Under Kim Jong-un's authoritarian rule, the regime shows little regard for the lives of its people. Information like this is tightly controlled, leaving North Koreans in the dark about the grim fate of their fellow citizens abroad. Life under authoritarianism. This tragic situation is a harsh reminder of the cost of dictatorship. In such regimes, ordinary people are treated as tools, servants to the state in peace, cannon fodder in war. Whether they're sent to fight or kept at home, their lives are often viewed as expendable. For North Korean soldiers, the harsh reality of this conflict underscores a brutal truth: under dictatorship, the people are mere pawns in the pursuit of power. Next, let's focus on SoftBank's $100 billion investment pledge for Trump's second term. In a Forbes report today, SoftBank's CEO Masayoshi Son made a bold commitment to invest a massive $100 billion in the United States during President Trump's second term. This is a significant increase from the $10 billion SoftBank promised back in Trump's first term. A major investment boost. During a Monday event at Mar-a-Lago with President Trump, Son announced that SoftBank would invest $100 billion over the next 4 years. Trump, in his remarks, expressed optimism about the country's future, saying that the investment was a testament to the confidence in America's economic prospects. Son, clearly excited, told reporters after meeting with Trump, "I'm extremely thrilled. I really want to celebrate President Trump's great victory. My confidence in the US economy has greatly increased with his win." This investment plan is expected to create 100,000 jobs, with a strong focus on sectors like artificial intelligence, data centers, semiconductors, and energy infrastructure. A strong track record. Masayoshi Son has a history of building solid ties with Trump. Back in December 2016, Son visited Trump Tower and announced a $50 billion investment plan, promising to create 50,000 jobs. That plan, however, never fully materialized. This new pledge of $100 billion has sparked debate. Critics remember the past unfulfilled promises made by figures like Jack Ma and Terry Gou during Trump's first term. Whether this $100 billion investment will actually come to fruition is something we'll have to watch closely in the next 4 years. However, what we can take away is that this announcement is setting a positive tone for investment in the US, creating an environment where foreign capital is welcomed and encouraged. America, the top destination for foreign investment. A key takeaway from this news is that, despite being one of the world's most developed nations, the US remains the top destination for foreign direct investment. In fact, Bloomberg reported today that Texas, under Governor Greg Abbott, is poised to surpass France in economic output soon. Abbott credits this surge to the booming investment climate in Texas, boosted further by Trump's promises to reduce regulations on oil, gas, and other industries. Abbott declared, when the new data is released, Texas will surpass France and become the world's seventh largest economy. Texas, the hotbed of opportunity. Having recently visited Texas, I can vouch for the state's thriving business atmosphere. In cities like Dallas, it's hard not to notice the vibrant energy, restaurants filled with business people making deals, securing funding, and scouting new projects. It's the kind of buzz you don't often see elsewhere. However, there's one thing I didn't quite love: the highway interchanges in Houston, which feel eerily similar to the sprawling, dizzying interchanges in Chinese cities. They can easily leave you feeling disoriented. But aside from that, the upbeat, positive energy in Texas is palpable, making it clear why the state is attracting so much investment. Finally, a Canadian finance minister resigns amid growing tensions with Trump. A shocking piece of news has emerged today, sparking widespread debate across international media. The Wall Street Journal reports that Canada's finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, has resigned from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's cabinet, citing deep divisions over how to respond to the challenges posed by the Trump administration. A major political shakeup. Freeland, a key ally of Trudeau and his trusted confidant, has been one of the most influential figures in Canadian politics. She served as Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister before taking on the role of Finance Minister. Her resignation has rocked the Canadian government, as Freeland was seen as one of Trudeau's closest collaborators, described by many as his right-hand person. So, why did Freeland suddenly step down? According to her, the issue is a fundamental disagreement over how to prepare for the growing threat from President Trump, particularly regarding trade. Freeland felt that Trudeau's approach lacked seriousness and that the government was not taking enough action to prepare for the looming trade war with the US. Disagreements over political strategy. The core of the conflict centered around a proposal by Trudeau to send $250 checks to every Canadian citizen, with the aim of boosting his party's popularity ahead of an election. The move came during a time when Canada's ruling party was trailing the Conservative Party by 20 points in the polls. While this seemed like a quick political win for Trudeau, Freeland disagreed. She argued that in the face of potential trade hostilities with the US, Canada should focus on strengthening its financial position, not handing out symbolic payments that would drain the treasury. She believed that with a trade war potentially looming, Canada needed to stockpile its resources rather than spend them on short-term political gains. Trudeau, however, stood firm on his plan, saying that he had already promised the payments to the public. This impasse ultimately led to Freeland's resignation. Impact on Canadian politics and global trade. Freeland's resignation signals more than just a domestic political issue; it could have significant consequences for Canada's political landscape. It further weakens Trudeau's government, which is already dealing with internal divisions. The move also boosts the chances of Canada's Conservative Party gaining power in the next election, a shift that could lead to a more pro-business, pro-US policy direction. On the global stage, the resignation has highlighted the ongoing tensions between Canada and the US, particularly regarding trade and tariffs. It suggests that the long-feared trade war between the two countries may be edging closer to reality. If Canada's finance minister could not align with the government on how to handle these issues, it suggests a growing rift in the approach to managing the Canada-US relationship. Looking ahead, while Freeland's departure may be a sign of an internal crisis for the Canadian government, it also points to an increasingly tense relationship with the United States. Hopefully, Canada can navigate this political turmoil and find a way to resolve its internal conflicts. The hope is that the country can also avoid a full-blown trade war with the US and reach a resolution that minimizes economic fallout. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.